Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Indigenerd Project. How's everybody doing? A lot of you have probably seen the show American Pickers. Well, there's a new show idea I have called Ocean Pickers, and it stars Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon.com, because what he's doing is he's going and scouring the bottom of the ocean floor and finding cool stuff. Recently he found some of the engines from the Apollo mission, some of the rocket engines, and he hauled that up to the surface. He can call his buddy Bill over at JPL. Hey Bill, what do you think these are worth? And then it shows the price down there like American Pickers. Pa-ching, $30 million to the right sucker. So finally, we have definitive proof that NASA did an amazing job faking the lunar landings. Now I feel good shopping on Amazon.com, knowing that my money will be going to support good nerd projects like this. Found another cool video you may want to check out. It's gone viral. You may have already seen it. It's called Forward. It's made by a Messe Kopp. Actually, that's just the guy's name, Messe Kopp. He's a filmmaker out of Jerusalem. He did it all one take. He basically acted out the scene where he walked backwards, and then he plays it in reverse. So it looks like he's walking forward while the whole rest of the world is going in reverse. Pretty clever, pretty cool. I was thinking about this video last night. I was like, oh, I could do where I videotape going to the bathroom backwards. Yeah, that's where my head's at. That's my big ideas. Anyway, he posted the video March 18th, and at last look, it was already over 2 million hits. Holy crap. That's right, you come up with a great idea, simple but solid, post it, people will watch it. Peter Dearman, remember that name? He is, I guess, an engineer or something out of northeast of London. He designed a car that runs on air. Basically, he says it runs like a steam engine. He uses compressed air, compressed so much it's liquid air. So the air, in order to get liquid air, obviously it has to be very cold, somewhere around minus 300 degrees, and as the air warms up, it expands, and that expansion is used to. He keeps the liquid air in a beer keg. Yeah, liquid courage, liquid air. So what's the catch? What's the problem? Well, the car has a 3-mile limit at this point. The important thing is it's good for the environment. Today is Thursday, opening round of the NCAA tournament, the big dance. And why am I recording this? I should be watching the games. Obama released his official bracket, and apparently he's gotten the Final Four wrong the last 2 years. So check out his bracket and pick like a red state. Just go opposite and you'll be okay. He did pick Indiana to go all the way, which is a red state. So unless you're Indiana. Nancy Pelosi, the House Minority Leader, really put her neck out there and said that she wants everybody to win. She doesn't want anyone to lose. Oh, really? I think she just lost votes with her NCAA pick. I was going to mention that you should follow New Mexico State because they have an Indian on their team, although they already lost, and technically he's the other kind of Indian. His name is Bhullar. He's 7'5", and I loved him in The Princess Bride. Despite being the wrong kind of Indian, he is still breaking stereotypes here. For example, he had originally planned on going to Xavier, but his academics did not qualify him for going there. So there you go. Not all Indians are nerds. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, Indian computer nerdy guy, computer help desk. But no, they're not all like that. So, way to break the stereotype there. In other news, an expecting dad in Iowa City was caught speeding. Yeah, well, he was expecting to become a dad. He wasn't actually. Anyway, they weren't planning to pull over because the baby was already coming out of the mother. So, but they stopped at a red light for safety reasons. The police officer caught up with them at the red light and approached the car and was like, oh, look at that. The baby was like halfway out of the mother at that point. Imagine there's lots of screaming. It was exciting. And they got the baby out right there. So that's the trick, I guess, to get out of a speeding ticket. Maybe have a pretend half baby sticking out of your skirt like, hi officer, I really gotta get going here. I'm just saying, it might work. Obama's over in Israel reminding them that we're still buddies. I don't know why our politicians keep going over there and say, hey, we're still buddies. Yay. It's part of the drill, I guess. Anyway, he's over there giving a speech and he got heckled. The heckler heckled him in Hebrew. Just a little note there for you hecklers out there. When you heckle the comedian, try doing it in a language that the comedian will understand. That way they can respond and have a nice rapport going. So when you bring the show to a screeching halt, at least. Apparently, Obama handled the heckling very well. And he got a standing ovation. So there you go. And I imagine the heckler was just like, see, his speech was going a little slow, so I figured I'd heckle him and kind of bring the crowd into it. I'm impressed that Obama did that. A lot of times when I deal with the heckler, it just gets awkward and brings the show to a screeching halt. Most of the time I just ignore the heckler. One time I actually did a really good job. I was heckled by a Navajo down in Laguna. If you want to check, I have a link to the clip down below where I handled that. And I'm kind of proud of it. It was one of those moments where I made myself laugh. Want to give a shout out to one of my fellow Native American artists, Cliff White. He's a musician and a composer from the Grand River Band of Odawa. For those of you out there that aren't Native, he's not in a band. That's just the band of. Well, he is in a band, but that's not his band. It's confusing. I know Indian stuff is confusing. One of my coworkers here, David Morgan at Intertribal Entertainment, posted his music to YouTube with a. So we got this music on YouTube, and apparently he's shown it to some of the power agencies here in Los Angeles, and he's gotten some nice positive feedback for it. So let's hear it for that. Check out the music. I like it. I think it's perfect for a musical scoring, a soundtrack type thing, and I'm very excited for him. Talking to him, he grew up here in Los Angeles on the Adams Street section, which I guess is historically pretty big deal for music. He lived right down the road from Marvin Gaye, and also Ray Charles's music studio was also just a few blocks away. So pretty darn cool. So very awesome. Check down below for the link for that. Britney Spears is back in the news. Thank goodness. I know. Why am I bringing this up? Well, she went to her son's soccer game wearing a mini skirt and no underwear. Yeah, on a windy day. Apparently she was concerned that the game was maybe a little boring, wanted to give something to the soccer dads that showed up to the game. She's supporting soccer in her own trashy, creepy way. That's one way to piss off the other soccer moms. Flash the dads. Kind of a bummer that she's being hounded by the paparazzi at her son's soccer game. However, she's not helping her cause by flashing her booty. That wraps up this edition of the Indigenerd Project. Thanks again for tuning in. That wraps up this edition of the Indigenerd Project. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you all later.